But today we are here for Uplevel Your Business, Best Success Hacks, Tips, and Resources. This is our third masterclass on this from our Standout Online members. These are our expert panelists. So far today we have Tina, Chantel, and Amanda with us. So I'm going to have them introduce themselves. We'll start over with Tina. Tina, tell us about yourself and your business and what you do.
Tina Pittman. I am a CPA and a certified tax coach. So, of course, I do accounting and taxes, but I'm a little bit different by I am proactive in reducing business owners' taxes.
Wonderful. That's fantastic. Thank you, Tina. Chantel, tell us about yourself and what you do.
Hi, I'm Chantel, and I help newer entrepreneurs nail the fundamentals, which is who they serve and how they'll serve them so that they can stop getting stuck and start actually developing and building the business and getting the raving fans that they so desperately want.
Great. Thank you, Chantel. That's fantastic. Amanda, tell us about yourself and your business.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I am founder of Magnetic Media Group, and what we do is we help small business owners to identify who their ideal prospect is and then to automate their inbound lead generation with Facebook ads. So helping them to identify that prospect and then make sure that they have fresh, consistent leads coming in the front door on a regular basis.
Great. Thank you, Amanda. April, welcome, April. Great to see you. Tell us about your business and what you do.
Hi, thank you, Christina. So my name is April Rogers, and I am the owner of Level Gifts, which is an online gift company, but also the owner of the Busy Woman Box, which is a quarterly self-care and lifestyle subscription box for busy women. And so we're actually in pre-launch for that, and that will be launching next month. So happy to be here. Thank you.
Great, wonderful. Well, I'm really excited to be with you guys here again today, and I want to go and ask each of you to share something that has been working for you in the past month since we met last time, something that's really helped your business. So we'll start again with Tina. What could you share with us, something that has success hacks that our members can use that you discovered, or some new technique, or anything that's been, really made an impact for you?
The most impact that I've had, and a very hard decision I had to make, is, of course, I work with numbers, so I look at job costing, and that means my customer base, what revenues are coming in, what time's involved in it. And I realized that my largest client was the least profitable client I had. So since then, I terminated that client because it just was not viable, and I could not move forward in my business and attain new customers to service. So I have found that small businesses are easier, and I'm more efficient, more productive in servicing those, and I'm a much happier camper.
Wow, that's a really interesting insight that you had there, Tina, that here was a customer that, this probably happens to so many business owners, that you think, wow, I've got this great customer, it's a large customer, but we don't realize sometimes that maybe the time and effort put into that particular client may not be profitable. So for what, to reevaluate that and to have that aha moment that you did is really amazing. And that is a great takeaway for everyone who's watching. Especially if you're in a service-based business. If you are trading, time for money, and you have maybe, let's face it, we all have these clients sometimes that just drive us crazy. I'm sure everybody's had one, right? And maybe they're eating up all your time and they're demanding, and it's just not worth it. So doing what Tina did, actually saying, okay, this isn't working, and letting it go and focusing where you can make more profit, that is a really great advice. And thank you for sharing that, Tina. Excellent. So Chantel, let's move over to you. Anything that big breakthroughs in the last month, any aha moments, any success hacks you want to share with us?
One of the success hacks that has really been beneficial to me recently is kind of just a reminder, but I think we all need those reminders in our business. And that is just focus on your next right step. It's so easy as an entrepreneur and a business owner to feel like you have to do all the things. And it's so easy to spread ourselves really thin and then just end up sitting there kind of stuck in overwhelm because there are so many things to do. So my aha moment, my reminder and tip is identify what your next right step is and then just do that. And then identify the next right step after that and do that. We're all feeling busy. We're all feeling like we never have enough time to accomplish everything that's on our plate. So it's easy to get to the end of the day and feel like you were busy, but you didn't really accomplish anything. So breaking down what you need to do into immediate next right step, accomplish that, and then do the next right step, you'll end up at the end of the day feeling like you accomplished something and you know what your next task is. So just focusing really narrow on what is the next immediate step, get that done. I'm a checklist girl. I love a good checklist. So to be able to check something off and say, I did that. It feels really awesome at the end of the day. And I think we all need to have that sense of accomplishment and feel like we are taking those right actions. So that is my tip.
That is great, Chantel. So I just want to ask you, when you say the right action, some people may be confused as to what is the right action. Like maybe they're torn in two different directions.
Yeah.
So how do you know which is the right action?
Yeah. And that's a great question to bring up. I think there's a couple ways to look at that. Sometimes you can't look at it objectively. As a business owner, sometimes we're too close to our own business and our own situation to really look objectively at what we need to do next. So if you are feeling really stuck and at a loss as to what your next right action is, try to step back, maybe get a mentor, a colleague, or someone that is also in business that you can talk to and say, hey, how did you do this? Where were you at in this, and what was your next step? If you aren't in a position to work with a coach or pay somebody, then I would look for your next best resource and someone that can give you some next right steps. But give yourself time and space to step back and really look objectively and allow other people to give you input, but make sure that those people are at or above the level that you're currently at, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. You want to take advice from somebody who's already done what you want to do, not somebody who never did it. Like
Exactly.
family and friends, right? Because a lot of times we
Yes.
get that, people think they know, but they've never done it. So that's a really good point as well, to make sure you be careful about who you take advice from. Well, thank you, Chantel. That is a really great tip, finding what your next step is and doing one step at a time. So Amanda, share with us, what is something that you've had in the last month since we met last time that you'd like to share?
So I've actually had two that have been really transformational with my business. And one of them was actually, I believe, a share that someone had from the previous call that I implemented, and it made a huge difference. So for me, when I sit down to write, and I have a lot of writing when it comes to producing content, but I'll tend to get writer's block. I know the topics I want to speak on, but getting it all written out, I'll end up being the person staring at the screen, just like, what am I going to write next? So someone on the previous calls had mentioned rev.com, and that has been an absolute game changer for me because I can list out my topics and speak on them with no problem at all. So I'll pull up an audio recorder, speak to the topics, and then I send it off to rev.com, and the transcriptionists will type out everything I said, and then I have my written content, and it just flows so much more easily for me. So that one has been absolutely transformational as far as getting my written content done in a much more efficient manner. And then the second one for me, I'm super big on automation and systems, processes, ways that I can grow my business and make sure that I'm not constantly doing the same task again and again, if there is a platform or way that it can be done. So for me, I use a lot of Facebook ads to drive traffic into my business, but I have recently found a way to tie my CRM back to my Facebook account. So that way, as people are moving themselves through the know, like, trust process of getting to know me, my brand, and what I do, I can now, based on what the actions are they've taken within my CRM, what emails they're clicking on, things like that, adjust the audiences that they're in within my Facebook ads manager so that they're seeing content on Facebook that's tied to what their interests are that they're taking with my emails and things like that. So being able to automate that process, so I'm not, constantly uploading new audiences and constantly doing that whole thing. And the customer journey can happen in a much more streamlined fashion where what they're seeing is really tied to what their specific interests are. So that's been super big for me as well, that I can make sure I'm delivering a really capable experience for my clients, but it's still automated.
Wonderful. So when you're talking about this with the Facebook ads and what you said, CRM, I know that went over a lot of people's heads. This probably went right over it. So can you explain a little bit in like dummies terms? Because I know Facebook ads are really a big point of contention. I would say everybody here would agree. It's luckily you've mastered it. So you probably have some insight that you can help everyone else with. I know recently something Facebook did, which is so annoying, is how now you have to get your business verified in order to use your lookalike, your custom audiences. When what that means is you used to be able to just upload your email list to Facebook and you could target those people. Well, now Facebook puts you through a business verification process, which is a big pain in the Like I've had issues with it. They keep saying they want more information, like matching the email to the. I actually sent them from GoDaddy that my business owns my domain, and they're still driving me crazy. So, give us some things about Facebook. This is a good subject because Facebook ads are really a big problem. I know, as you probably all can agree. And that's my puppy in the back. Of course, she's got to be naughty during this. So if you hear barking, growling, just ignore it. So go ahead, Amanda.
Yeah, so I am a bit of a tech nerd. So when it comes to building those systems out, that is my happy place. Like I'm very content with sitting behind the computer and figuring these things out. And yes, Christina, I completely agree. Facebook likes to make changes and not forewarn anybody and just log in and things will be different. And then it's just hours sitting behind, sitting in the Facebook ads manager, figuring out what they've changed and what's new. So kind of a more simplified version of what I was speaking about is I run Facebook ads, which is just a method of, using the Facebook platform and putting your offers out in front of those people. So that's kind of the simplified version, just making sure that your offers are displayed in the news feeds of your target audience or your ideal prospects. And from there, I just automatically move those leads from Facebook into, I use a CRM, which is like a customer relationship manager, but that could be something as simple as your email database. So MailChimp, Aweber, Constant Contact, things like that. Those are all examples. Mine, I use a bit more robust one because I just like all the automation. But, just as long as your leads are automatically being stored in some sort of email or customer database, that way you have the ability to reach out to your database in a really systematic fashion. You're not only sending one-on-one emails back and forth. You're able to send your marketing messages out to everyone in your email list at one time. So really, it's just connecting those two platforms. Your inbound lead platform, which for me is Facebook ads, and I just make sure it's connected to my email autoresponder. That way everything is really organized and I can make sure my marketing messages are sent out in a really systematic fashion, and it's saving me a lot of time to not have to do just one-on-one messages.
Great. Well, that is fantastic, Amanda, and it's great that you know how to do all this with Facebook ads because, like I said, it is. I'm sure there may be some questions too. I'll try to look in the comments here. If anybody has any questions for any of the experts here, please put it in the comments. But yeah, so the great advice from Amanda and from everybody here. So April, let's get to you now. Tell us, what have you had, any breakthroughs, anything that has happened the last month you want to share with us?
So for me, I have had to make a commitment to be more intentional about self-care. And someone may say, well, this, self-care have to do with my business. I know for me, I'm a wife, a mom, an entrepreneur. I have 4 sons, 2 with special needs. Like so many of the viewers, like my life is busy. And it's so easy for me to schedule, things that I need to do for my business and, and have a to-do list that's a mile long, but not include anything for myself. And what I've learned is that when I'm intentional about self-care, my productivity goes up, my creativity goes up. I'm not as sluggish. When I'm feeling those sluggish days because I haven't taken care of myself, I sit at my computer and I may have 40 windows open and I'm working on 1,001 different things just because mentally I'm just not in a place where I need to be. And so self-care has always been important to me, but I ended up working on a self-care toolkit for busy women. And it's a 25-page ebook. And as I was working on that, I felt even more convicted, like, okay, you've done a decent job with self-care, but you've got a ways to go. And so I had to challenge myself to say, you know what, it's time to up your self-care game and put some things on the calendar, put some things on your to-do list. Even if it's something like going to get I don't know, I need to get my eyebrows down, but just something simple, or just saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to schedule and have lunch with a few friends and, just kind of stepping away from business tasks so that when it is time for me to work and be focused, I'm all in and I'm not feeling like, oh, I'm tired mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. So for me, that's probably been the biggest thing, is to be intentional about self-care and schedule it.
Wow, that is really great advice, and something us as entrepreneurs constantly, I know I do, we put it on the back burner. Where I actually feel guilty when I'm not working for some reason. I'm like, I should be working now. It's like you become so used to working 24/7, and it's like, oh, I'm having fun now, but wait, all this is piling up. But it's true. You're right. You get depleted then, and then your nerves get on edge, and when you don't take time for yourself, it affects your health. It affects everything, and it will affect your business. So thank you for reminding us of that, April, because it's really important to schedule those things that we think are indulgent, like getting a massage or going to get our hair done, and we're like, oh gosh, I could be working, I got to get things done, or family needs me and this one needs me, and we do always put everybody else first. This is like a woman thing, right? Everybody could agree. I don't know why we do that as women, right? We always everybody else comes first and we come last. And it's just, I guess it's just in our nature. We're just caring people, right? But we do need to care for ourselves. So yeah, I 100% agree with that. That is really great advice. So let's go back. We'll head back over to Tina. Let's share, this is the fun part, let's share some of any tools or resources that you've come across that made life a little easier, your business easier, anything you want to share that you're currently using. Tina, I can't hear you. Let's see. Oh, you're muted out. Let's see. Can you unmute your mic?
Sorry.
There we go.
I have traffic in the background, so I wanted to mute that noise. A tool that I've used, now it does cost money, Bill.com. I used it to pay bills, like for a client. They would email it to an email address, and we would enter it into that and push a button, and the bill would get paid. We don't have to stuff checks in an envelope or stamp them or anything like that, so it made us more productive.
And it's called bills.com or bills.com?
Bill.com.
.com. And so this is basically what it does is pays your bills.
Yes. Now,
interesting.
It's a tool that you could use with your bank probably too. Did you enter your
Interesting.
online and push a button and the check gets cut and gets mailed?
Oh, interesting. Okay, now I have not heard of that one. That seems like a very good tool to simplify things, and instead of getting all your bills done and not forgetting to schedule out, I know I do everything online banking, but a lot of times you're like, some things you're scheduling from the credit cards themselves, some things are from your bank account, and you have to make like this long list to make sure you schedule everything. But yeah, I'm so happy. Gone are the days of stuffing envelopes with stamps. I had to buy stamps last week, and I was like, oh my God, I haven't bought stamps in years, because I had to mail a physical check in. So they said, we do not accept online. I'm like, what? So I'm like, I can go buy an envelope now. I got to buy stamps. What are these? I'm so used to having it all, everything digital. But that is great. Bill.com. Thank you, Tina. Chantel, tell us what something you want to share, some really cool resource or tool that you may have found.
One is something I'm sure everybody already has heard of or already uses, and that's canva.com. I love Canva. Oh my gosh, I love Canva like it's family. The other one that I recently came across is called Interact. If you've ever wanted to create an online quiz to use for list building, that is a great tool, and you can find that at tryinteract.com. That's been a super handy tool for me. I'd wanted to use an online quiz and was sent to that resource, and I found it to be user-friendly. For me, intuitive tools and something that's user-friendly is critical, because I hate having to mess with tech, and I think a lot of people are afraid of tech. Amanda is a rock star at tech, I hear. So for those of us that maybe aren't as naturally tech savvy, it's a good tool, and it has templates that are already built out, and you can change and tweak, or you could build from scratch. So that's been pretty cool.
So it's tryinteract.com.
Correct.
Okay.
And you
I've not heard of that.
Yeah, you can do the free version to play around with, but if you actually want to use it for list building and connect it with your CRM or your email management tool, then you have to do the paid version, but it includes, I believe it's a 14-day free trial.
Excellent. And then, you mentioned Canva. I love Canva, the Pro plan. And there's one thing that you maybe everyone doesn't know that you can do on Canva now is you can do presentations. I might have mentioned this last time, but you can actually create the presentation, and then it turns into a website. So you can record, you don't have to put it into PowerPoint. So you skip PowerPoint completely. So you could download it as a PDF or a PowerPoint, but you can just click a button and it says present or website beta, it says, and it'll just be a website link of your presentation.
That's awesome. Yeah, I use Canva for business, for personal. My children's birthday invitations are done in Canva. I've made things for my kids' school in Canva. I mean, it's fantastic.
It really is. It's so user-friendly. I love Canva myself. I mean, it is just so much better. If anybody here's used Photoshop in the past, you'll know, oh, yuck. I mean, I used to use Photoshop, and it's so difficult. Canva's so easy. So, yeah, great tools. Thank you, Chantel. Amanda, I know you probably have some good tools for us.
And I actually just had to scratch Canva off my list because I swear by Canva. That is amazing. I am not a graphic designer, and it makes it so easy to design things. Oh, yeah, I'm in Canva every day. It's amazing. So other than that, Rev.com, which I really adore. Again, it's transcription services. They have different levels. So they do have one where it's a machine that's doing the transcription for you. But then they also have live people that do the transcription. And their turnaround time is really quick, and their rates are very reasonable. So that has been, again, super transformational for my business because I'm a better talker than I am a writer. So Rev.com has been really good for me. One for integrating all these platforms. So if you find that you have multiple things, like lead pages for websites, but your email autoresponder is maybe not connecting properly, or you have Facebook ads. For me, I have platforms all over the place. So I use Zapier.com, and that is a third-party integration system. It's Zapier, and they link over 1,500 different platforms together so that everything can work in an automated fashion, so you're not having to download and upload and things like that. They will automatically port information between your various platforms. So that is a major time saver for me, to be able to get everything to function all as one big unit instead of having to do things manually. And stuff that's not business related, but it just helps me not lose my mind as being a business owner and running a household. Instacart for me is a lifesaver. I don't know if they have it all over the place, but for me, here locally, you open the app and select the groceries that you want and from what store, and someone just shows up at your door with your groceries. That's like the most amazing thing for me, because I don't have this extra time to go wander around the grocery store. And then I'm also not buying all this extra random stuff as I walk around. So having Instacart for someone to just show up with my groceries is huge. And Uber Eats, like if I've not thawed anything for dinner and I've got client campaigns that need to be done and I don't have time to cook, just pulling up the Uber Eats app and having restaurant food delivered is an absolute miracle in my household. So those are two things that are not business related, but are definitely major time savers for me.
Excellent. And yeah, Instacart, have you found that is there a lot of substitutions, or do they find the right stuff? Because some of the services, when you have them, they are missing like half the groceries that you order. Are you having good luck with
locally, that? Yeah, here locally, it's pretty good. There might be some substitutions if I'm doing like a lot of really fresh produce and stuff, where they might be out of a specific plum that they've substituted, but for the most part, they get everything I've got on the list.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, and that you bring up a really good point about not trying to do it all yourself and being smart. Oh, I'm sorry for the squeaking. It's really important to be able to do that, because, we have to prioritize our time. And a lot of the time we're doing tasks we shouldn't be doing. And one of those is probably grocery shopping, wasting time driving to the store, like you said, wandering around the store, having to lug everything home, and having that, being able to just have that delivered right to your door. The convenience of that is really good for all entrepreneurs to consider. You got to let go of some control, right? Some things you can't do it all. The same thing goes for cleaning your house. Hiring somebody to do that. They always say you should look at things that what do you make per hour, and if it's something that's less, you should be, outsourcing that out. So that's a really, really good point. And transcribing your content is really great. There's rev.com and there's otter.ai, which is also very good. It's another transcription service that can help you just upload your audio and they'll transcribe it. And then you just fix it up or send it to a virtual assistant to fix up. And then you'll be able to repurpose that into a blog post or into an article or whatever you need. You can write a book that way, right? By just talking and then transcribing. So great. Thank you, Amanda. So what about you, April? Well, tell us some tools and resources that you may have.
So for me, I've been an entrepreneur for a while, but I've been able to run a business and kind of just hide behind my computer and just interact with my clients. But with what I'm doing now, I realize I have to get out there in terms of social media. So I consider myself a social media novice. So my recommendation, everybody's probably heard about it, but I signed up for the Later app and to schedule my social media posts. And because I have 2 different business social media accounts, just trying to do that manually and go through each platform was just too much. And so I absolutely love being able to go into one platform and schedule posts to Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram for both of my accounts, which means there's a total of 8 accounts that I can manage from one interface. So for me, I absolutely love it. So.
And that's later.com.
I believe it is.
Later, okay.
Yeah, if you search for Later app, then it'll come up. If you just search for later, it may not, but let's see. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
some
sure
of them have the dot app, or we could just do a Google search and the later social media scheduler. So
Yeah.
social media scheduling is great, having like either Buffer or Later or and Hootsuite or any of these tools that hopefully everybody's using those to get your content out without having to manually post it one by one, right? which is a pain in the neck. I'm using a tool I think I might have mentioned last month as well, but it's got some new uses now. It's headliner.app. Is anybody using Headliner? Headliner is amazing. What you can do is you can take your audio and turn it into video. And they have all these different little, like when you go on, like you can do an audiogram where it has like the, what do you call it? Like, where you see like the audio like recording with the blue line going through, it has, you could do like larger files of, like I could take this whole class and like strip the audio and then re-upload it with a picture in the back. But it's really handy. And what they just came out with, which is super cool, is if you have a podcast, you can put in the search your podcast name. It will pull all the episodes of your podcast. You can choose the episode, and it will turn it into a video. So one of the ways I've been using this, and we talk a lot about repurposing, especially in the Standout Online membership program, I just started recently repurposing the blog posts that are on womenhelpingwomen.biz from the members. So I've done a few where I'll read them, and directly on anchor.fm, which is our Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs podcast. So I will just read it into there, to record it directly there. Now it's a podcast episode. I'll download the audio, and then I will upload it or choose it in headliner.app and create one of these audio wizardgrams where it has, just the picture of the podcast and it has the audio. And that video I'll then put on YouTube, and this is where it's been getting a lot of listens. I've been uploading it to IGTV. So I know the one I did yesterday from our member Pamela Chapman. I think it was Pamela Chapman. It was like there's already 1,600 views of the listens of this video. So each of them are averaging 1,500 or more because it goes on IGTV. And it previews on your Instagram. So it has to be, I believe, it can't be longer than 10 minutes for IGTV, but it has to be over, like it doesn't work for really, really short little videos, like to upload, they'll say your video is too short. I think it has to be like a minute long. So you can take audio without having to do video and turn the audio into video. Is this making sense? So now you have, you're just listening. I'm sure you've done this. You've seen a video and it's just listening. And on YouTube, a lot of people prefer that as well. And it also, the Headliner transcribes automatically too. But you do have to fix it up. So I haven't actually done it, had the time to fix all the things that they don't get right. But you can do that as well. So headliner.app is a great way to repurpose content. So, by doing that, now we have, the members, you guys have your blog post. The blog post then turns into a podcast episode, which then turns into a video. And then it gets put on everywhere. It goes on to LinkedIn, 3 different places, company page, our LinkedIn group, my LinkedIn profile. And then it goes into our new Mighty Network, Women Helping Women Entrepreneur Mighty Network. It goes onto the Facebook, Facebook pages and groups. So it just is spreading content out everywhere you can without having to redo, think of witty things to come up with. It's just one piece of content. So I hope you guys can think about how you guys, because your members, do your blog posts. So I'm going to be trying to do one, trying to get to one a day of these, because I think it's a great way to get the content out. But everybody who's watching, think about that, how you can, like Amanda said, you can take something, make a video, then turn it into transcription, into an article, which then you can make that a video as well. All the different ways you can take content and turn it into different forms and get it out there. The more places you get it out, the better. I know some people say, well, you're sharing, I don't want to share the same thing, on multiple, like the same quote on, like, say, Instagram and then Facebook, and then that's fine. People don't see it. You're assuming everybody is seeing what you're posting, and they're not. So you want to be omnipresent, as they say, and get it out to as many platforms as you can. Chances are, the person is not going to see it, and if they do, who cares? It's just, you would just want to get it out there. So that's just my tip for the day. So we'll go around again. Any other insights or anything else you wanted to share? Tina, do you have anything else you'd like to share? I think you're muted again.
Not at the moment I can think of anything.
So I'll ask, based on all of your expertise, I'll just ask you a really quick question. So Tina, I'm going to have you tell us what you're working on and go through everybody, and you can share your website link. You're in accounting, and you help business owners save money on taxes, and now we're going into when does fourth quarter start again?
October 1st.
October 1st, okay. Mm-hmm. So quarterly taxes are coming up pretty soon as well, right? Any reminders for anything to do to maximize our tax savings for the last quarter?
Just remember to do a tax forecast, because your business probably looks different than it did the prior year. So we have, so that you're not shocked when it comes to tax time. Also, things you want to consider, whether you are getting all your deductions that you can take. There are so many strategies out there that if you need to ask your CPA or your tax preparer, what else can I be doing proactively in my business to save on taxes? It's not always a clear-cut, we see the tax savings. For example, one tip that I've been giving a lot lately is some of the entrepreneurs are doing an in-home office deduction, but there's more to it than that. If you're using it, if you have like an LLC formed, if you're using it for your board meetings, there is deductions you can get for having those board meetings that is a deduction, but actually not money out of your pocket. So there are expenses you can have in regards to taxes that might not need to be out of your pocket. So you can
great, those are great tips.
Yeah, you can rent your home office to have board meetings or parties for your client. And it's a write-off, but not income to you personally. There's requirements that you have to meet, but it's really simple.
That's a great tip, and I'm sure a lot of us do not know that. So that is fantastic. Tina, do you have any resource you'd like to share as far as like a free giveaway that you have that you'd like to share, or lead the website that you want to send everyone to get more information?
We are creating a new website. It's youraccountant.biz, and that is the title of the company. I forgot to mention it. It's youraccountant.biz. We have don't have it all quite ready yet, but we will have a 25 strategy checklist, tax checklist on that site. But it will offer also our finance business training class for our beginners. A lot of entrepreneurs we've been finding have trouble with the finance end of their business. So we have a training course that's out there. But also check it out. We have our in-home office deduction calculator out there on there. So you can calculate what you should be getting as a deduction for in-home office.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so that's youraccountant.biz.
Correct.
Great. Thank you so much, Tina. Wonderful. Chantel, so tell us if you have any last-minute tips, based on your expertise, and we also want to know if you have anything you want to share with your website, if there's any gift offer you want to offer people to download or opt into.
Absolutely. So last-minute tips for many of the women out there, you're getting ready to send your kiddos back to school. So I just want to encourage you, if you're working on building a business, you're trying to figure out what business you want to start, time management is super important. So I would encourage everyone to use the hours that you have available while your kids are in school to focus and work on those next right steps to help you grow your business, so that while the kids are gone, or if you still have some at home while they're maybe down for nap time and the other kids are at school, you can be doing everything you want to do to build that dream of yours, so that when they get home from school, you can be focused on them. It's such a struggle for so many working moms or entrepreneurial moms. When you're working, you feel like you should be with your kids. When you're with your kids, you feel like you should be working. So I would encourage everybody, just focus your time that you have on that business task. And then when kids get back home, you can feel like you can really be focused on them. And my website is chantelbunker.com, spelled Chantell. Bunker is Bunker.com. I have a couple different free resources. One is a business startup checklist. There's a quiz that I had mentioned earlier. You can jump on my website, take the quiz to figure out what kind of entrepreneur you are, and that will take you to a business startup checklist. The other is if you're really working on trying to figure out what niche you want to serve, I have a 20 questions to help you identify your niche on there as well. So yeah, just a couple free resources to help you get going.
That sounds amazing, Chantel. Excellent. Okay, so everybody, and I want everybody to put your websites your links in the comments too, so everyone can click on them as well afterwards. So fantastic, thank you. So Amanda, so tell us, since Facebook ads is your expertise, tell us if you have any last minute tips for us, and then any resources that you have on your website for everybody to follow up.
Sure. So actually the tip that I have kind of speaks to the repurposing of your content. So I know that we're all strapped for time. So really repurposing your content in multiple ways has been a time saver for me. For me, the process typically is I will either record a video on Zoom or I'll do a Facebook Live. From there, I download the Facebook Live and edit the file size to fit IGTV. I will then also send the video file to Rev to get it transcribed, so I have all the written text for a blog post. And then I can send it to a VA to kind of chop up what I've said, so I can use that as text in my Instagram and Facebook posts. And then I can just put an image on that matches whatever piece of content I was speaking to. But typically you don't have to be worried about people feeling like you've posted the same thing everywhere, because I break it up by day. So the Facebook Live was live on that platform. It's not going to be shown as Instagram posts for at least a couple days. It's not going to be a blog post probably for a week. So the content keeps showing up, but it's showing up on different platforms at different times. So, if people are following you on multiple platforms, what they're seeing on Instagram and what they're seeing on Facebook from you today are two totally different things. So, I mean, you're showing up as like this mega expert because you're talking about all these different topics on different platforms every day. So being able to leverage that one piece of content in multiple places at multiple times is a time saver and helps you to show up as that expert. So it's kind of like the 1-2 punch. You're getting so many benefits. So that's my tip. As far as content and freebies and stuff like that, a couple weeks ago, I actually did a free challenge walking everyone through the exact process I use for growing an email list on autopilot. And the challenge is over, but I've got all of the content still available. So if you go to listbuilderchallenge.com, you can actually download all the videos, all the homework sheets, all that stuff all at once. And that just walks through how to establish what your audience is looking for, how to create those irresistible offers, and then how to use Facebook ads to consistently get people opting in for your email list, even while you're asleep, on vacation, or whatnot. So how to build out that whole process.
So that's
listbuilderchallenge.com.
Challenge, okay. listbuilderchallenge.com, and you'll add that in the comments afterwards. Fantastic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, these are really great resources everyone is watching. You should definitely take advantage of these. Thank you, Amanda. So April, how about you? What do you have to share with us? Any last minute thoughts, and of course, anything that you want to share on your website with the viewers?
Sure. So again, just to kind of reiterate, just want to encourage everyone to be intentional about your self-care. And I would just challenge the viewers over the next 30 days, just spend a few minutes and schedule out some things. Spend some time thinking about what can you do to kind of up your self-care game, I guess, as they say. And if you need some help with that, I mentioned earlier that I do offer a free self-care toolkit for busy women, and it has lots of great information in there. There's let's see, 101 ideas and inspiration for self-care. There's a 30-day self-care bingo sheet just to kind of have some fun with it. There's a self-care evaluation tool in there, lots of great quotes, and so just a good resource, I think, just to kind of help everyone kind of evaluate where are you at with your self-care and where do you want to take it over the next 30 days, the next quarter, the next year. So they can find that. Well, actually, my website is it's under production, but the website is busywomanbox.com, and so it's BIZY and then womanbox.com. But if they go to my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/busywomanbox, there is a post on there where they can enter to win one of three free subscription boxes and also get access to that self-care toolkit. So
Fantastic. Okay, wonderful. So you'll put the link as well. I want to thank you all, Tina, Chantel, Amanda, April. This has been absolutely great. And I want to do this again next month, of course, because everything changes. We have so much, each month. We're all evolving and learning, and we all have, great things to share. So we'll definitely do another show next month. So everybody, you can put your, put your website and everything in the comments. So anybody's watching, a lot of people will be watching the replay of this and not watching this live. So then they can go in the comments and find your resources that you shared. And thank you so much. Thanks again. And we will see you guys all soon again. Take care.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
ladies.
thanks.
Thank
Have a
you.
great week.
Thanks, you
You
too.
too.